Hey everyone, thanks for coming back to my channel, Navigating Betty. I'm Betty, and it's Saturday. I am painting my house here in Waco, Texas, and I have to do so before July 8th because that's the date that the city of Waco has given me to paint it. And admittedly, I have been scraping the paint off of this house for about a year. So yeah, that's fair. And it really should be a painting day, but it's supposed to rain all day, which means it probably won't, because you can't really predict Texas weather. But I need to get paint samples. I've decided against the paint that I thought I was originally going to go with, and now I need to find a different paint. Plus I have to get a taller ladder, and I have to find an orbital sander. And because I want to get a cheap orbital sander, I want to go to pawn shops. Samples. Okay, this is the paint sample that I got in initially, that I thought, yes, this is it. And that's a pretty paint sample, but it came out looking flat and more like mint. Got this color at Lowe's. Then I went to Home Depot and I got these three colors, which I thought this was the color closest to that, but apparently not. And I really like the middle color, but I understand that it might come out looking darker than I really want it to be, but I really like this color. And then it's the one on my left, your right color that's closest to that. So I'm gonna get paint samples of all three of these. Right now it looks sunny and bright outside, and I hate the idea of wasting a good day on shopping when I could be out scraping and sanding and getting the job done. But to get the job done, I need these things. So that is how I'm gonna spend my Saturday. So onward. So I am at an Ace Hardware store. I never come to Ace Hardware's. I'm looking for something that is turquoise, bright, not gray, and not pastel. I'm getting paint samples here at Lowe's. I think they're having a sale. This is 22-foot reach, $199, and it is the brand of ladder that I already have. 22 feet. This will go 18 feet. It's $189. This one's $40 more. And I'm not sure. It's 300-pound load capacity. I'm half that. Thank you. This one's the same. Tool tray and tool hanger buttons.
When we get that, you want to write it.
But is that only if it is in a triangle position? You know, it's $40. I am not trying to be a cheapskate, but at the same time, a difference of $40 for a ladder that I'm going to use maybe once or twice, but who knows? I may need to use it to trim trees. Oh, and this one's dented. Do you see that? Okay, well, I guess that makes up my mind. So I got this rigid orbital sander at a pawn shop for $20. So I bought sandpaper as well, and this is the most coarse sandpaper that I could find, if it'll stop. You can see the gravel on there. doesn't do it quickly, but it does take some off. I'm still glad that I scraped most of the paint off of the house, at least on some parts. Not all, obviously. So on the parts that I did scrape most of the paint off, what is that going to look like? As you can see, it's going to be tough even if I have a sander, so I'm glad that I scraped most of this paint off. I can't decide if I want to put primer on it as I sand it, because it is raining so much lately, and I don't know. I don't know if it matters. But I feel like, look at this pretty fresh looking wood comparatively to the rest of it. I want to put primer on it in its new refreshed state. I don't know, I'll think about that. It's early, Sunday morning, and I'm up deliberately. I am looking around the house to see exactly what needs to be done. I'm going to need wood filler. I'm going to need primer. I'm going to need an obscene amount of sandpaper. Give you a better view. You can see that I have done a very good job removing the amount of paint off of the lower half, and of course the upper half is what needs to be improved upon. It may just be my inexperience. There's my stray cat. Hello, stray kitty. I yelled at him earlier. He got into the house, and he could be my third cat, but he bullies my other cats, and so I have to yell at him and swat him away. I don't hurt him. He's a nice kitty. His ear is all jacked up, as you can tell. He looks like he's definitely a road kitty, Wow. But he wants love, you can tell. He's a pretty cat, and I wish it were easy. I wish it were easy, because he's sweet and he wants love, but he's a boy kitty. He still has his boy nuggets. I know. And he's just a little bit more aggressive than I want him to be toward my other cats. Oh God. Look at the difference in the size of my ladder to the monster ladder that I bought yesterday. First I have to assemble my ladder. So these are the locking positions. This is the tallest one. Same thing with the bottom. I should have done the bottom first. Unlock it. Voila. To start, I'm going to focus on just scraping and getting the caulk out, and these are my major tools. I love this one, and this one works in places this doesn't. In some cases, the paint is so thin and so adhered to the wood underneath that I feel like I am grabbing some of the wood. Can you see that? As well, along with the paint. And then in these instances, I try to cut it off as much as possible. You'll see how the grain was being raised with the paint. All right, 30 minutes later, I am almost finished taking off that little section of paint that was here. I want to show you the reason I am determined to sand and to use wood filler. It's because of the gouges here. In taking off of the paint, sometimes some of the wood comes with it, so there's no recourse really, but unless you want an uneven surface, which is not what I want. And I am sure that I'm going to get an uneven surface no matter what I do, but I can even it out as much as possible. So that will be next weekend. This is a good example of the layers. Now this is the original, like the Jurassic, and then came the Cretaceous, and this over here is maybe the Tertiary. I think that's correct, I'm not sure. All right, as you can see, this thing is ugly, and it is right in front of my house over the front windows. Not only is it in front of the house, but it is, you can't see it, but it's kind of slipped in between the two shiplaps. And I have tried, I've tried pulling on it, but it's no go. And it's not necessarily metal, although it may be metal. I think it is. Ooh. Excuse my ugly finger. There's buzzing going on, but I wanted to show you this. I don't know, I don't have a solution to this and what I can do with it. Just a quick snack. I'm also going to have a soda. And maybe, oh dear, I just noticed this, that my air conditioner that I leave on very often for a very long time is leaking, and is leaking into here, which in turn leaks into my side here, and you can see that there's mold growing on there, which I find interesting because this is exterior wood and it gets rained on. But I guess it's with continual moisture, it grows mold. So I'm gonna have to stop this get a new air conditioner. Hey. And then I'll sand this. Hopefully the sanding will take care of the mold. Homeownership. Yay. In between, now I'm going to caulk. Whenever I first started, I didn't know how to do the caulking gun at all. And I had to watch YouTube videos. Whoa, way too big of a hole. Sorry, juvenile. Usually you have to put this in there. All caulking guns, mine is crazy. All caulking guns, or usually caulking guns, come with the little piercing rod. You just tuck it into the back, and then it took me a while to realize that. Yeah, and then I still forget. You have to punch this down and do like that. That was hard. And I think you turn it, yeah, turn it down, and then you can start caulking. My kitty. Oh, isn't he beautiful? You're so beautiful. So I am going to caulk that little section over there, a couple of lines over here, but the majority of the caulk, I don't really need a whole lot, actually. All right, everyone, I am excited. I have taken off all of the paint. Well, okay, except for that little diamond up there. I have next Thursday and Friday off, so I am going to tackle that at that time. However, I am excited because I have no more paint to scrape off. Well, except for the corners right there with the blue. There's another one over there and another one over there. But for the most part, the front of the house is done. I am just a hop, skip, and a jump away from starting to sand. And then I'm going to apply primer, and then I'm going to apply paint. And no, it's not going to be that easy, but I'm so excited that I've gotten this far. I'm more concerned about the front of the house. The sides and the back are going to be a lot less attention to detail, because the front is what shows. And the sides, I've done a lot to them. They're not going to look horrible. They're just going to look a little less professional. And I have picked out my paint. Well, I have picked out an assortment of paint that I will decide upon later. So right here you have 3 different types of paint, 3 different colors. This is called Simply Aqua Valspar. These 3 are bare. This is Sea of Tranquility Paradise Sky. This is pure turquoise. And you know, to me it's between these 2. Yeah, and I know the whole back is still needing to be done, but you know, let me dream, okay? So it is Monday, and for today and tomorrow, all I'm going to do is work, walk my girl, do laundry, mow my yard, clean my house, in anticipation of Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and really attempting to make headway on my house painting. But that's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna spare you the details. And yeah, if you've been hanging out, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. I will talk to you later. Bye. So I just took out my air conditioner, and I realized it was leaking so bad. Now I intend to sand, and paint the wood, but I'm hoping that it will dry out in the meantime. This is still drippy. I originally got this AC unit, this window unit, in 2020 when my condo's AC broke down, and it worked pretty good. You served well. You served faithfully. Little Toshiba unit. Rest in peace.